Good morning, everyone. Those lights back there are very bright, so if I look like I'm glazing over, it's because I'm trying to focus on someone and I can't. So how was the party last night? I feel like I heard it was awesome. So this morning, we're going to talk about how your data fuels the Spiceworks experience. And you might recognize me, but just to reintroduce myself, I'm Liz Ronco. I'm part of the product management team here. My colleague, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Amber Shrivastava. I made a promise to Liz that she doesn't have to pronounce my last name.
I tried.
And we practiced a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty close, Shrivastava.
And Ambar is our head of growth, and so he really, while I look after our data platform and everything in the background, he is responsible for kind of the growth of these experiences and involving them, working with our other product managers like Marta and Francois within the tools and community, and Sean as well. I know you and actually Sean sit next to each other. So working with all of them to make sure that the experiences that they're bringing to life really grow into fruition for all of you guys and kind of follow you through your personalized and relevant experience. So a couple questions for the crowd. I know it's morning, but bear with me. So how many of you guys attended one of our insight sessions yesterday? Awesome. And just to remind, for those of you who don't remember what they are, these were the insight sessions run by Marta and her team. All right. How many of you guys went to the keynote? Yeah, hopefully everyone raised their hand. Yeah. So all of this is powered by data, right? We talk about data a lot, talk about the insights that we brought to the community, to the help desk, to inventory. That's from the data and kind of the underlying kind of engine that comes along with all of that. And so really we couldn't have these experiences, we couldn't do this innovation within our products without something that fuels it, and that fuel is data. And so it's like my favorite Christmas movie. I'll sit down and watch it every single year, so when I found this, I had to put it in. But data enables us to improve and innovate and personalize your experience so it stays relevant as you go through your day, as you go through your year, and new interests and priorities come up. But we know data, right? Great power comes great responsibility. And Jay brought this up in the keynote, but one of the things that was with our acquisition, which we're all super excited about, there were a lot of questions, cost optimism, that came up, and one of the big themes around this, and there's kind of this post in the community that you can find from Jay, was really data, right? Is the way you're going to use my data change? Am I going to receive a whole bunch of phone calls because of it? Can I continue to opt out and have that control? And the answer to all of that is yes. And I bring this up just so you guys can see it, and these are kind of all the kind of themes and takeaways we're going to continue to touch upon over the course of this session. And so just to cover it, we've always been open and transparent. We're going to continue to be. I'm here in person. You can come ask me questions at any point in time. I'm also in the community. Very easy to find. Liz R, Spiceworks. Feel free to message me. We can talk, chat about any concerns or questions you guys have. I'm always available. But so, I think the big question for this session was that's great, Liz. I can talk to you at any point, but can you tell me a little bit more about this data? Tell me exactly what it is, how it's fueling our experience, and how it's brought to life. So I also showed this slide in our main session, our welcome session, about all these unique data points that we have, everything that's behind it, across the ecosystem that we see. This includes the research that we do annual, year-round, which I know many of you participate in, which we very much appreciate. But this is kind of everything that really powers our data platform and brings to life these experiences that help make your experience relevant and personalized. And so the biggest thing that I come to work concerned about, want to know more about when it comes to data, is about your business. Because knowing about your business means I can understand what the pain points are, what the priorities you guys have to solve, and what your daily job needs in order to be successful. And so that's what I want you to take away from this, is we want to look at and understand your business so we can better help you do your job. And there are components to kind of how this breaks down. So firmographics, we need to know who the business is, what's your name, how many employees do you have, just kind of the relative pedigree information. And we'll dive into each of these areas a little bit further as I get into it. Technographics. Technographics are also what do you have installed, right? What do you use on a day-to-day basis? Because those two questions that you ask when you're buying or even just managing, is the decision I'm going to make currently compatible with my environment? And then individual expertise, right? What is not only your expertise within your business, but what are your professional interests? What are you gearing towards? What are you wanting to learn about? What are you wanting to experience and maybe get deeper into? And then business behavior. So while all of you, no matter where we all are online, we admit behavioral signals, this is where kind of at the business level, understanding how those behaviors relate to your business needs is what we look at and what we're concerned about. And all of this goes into an ecosystem that we call the ecosystem of our business profiles. And again, these business profiles are made up of the same kind of main components. And they all relate to each other because if you're part of the same industry, you're part of those categories. So we talk about those business insights that Francois was talking about, which how do you benchmark against others in your industry? How do you find the best technology for your needs and what you're going to have to support? That's all because we can relate and understand how these might integrate and compare to each other. And then another thing we like to know about the business, because sometimes business data disproves assumptions that we have about the individual. Because, as we mentioned before, you guys are interested in things that are outside of your job, right? You're interested in up-leveling your skills, making sure you're personally and professionally developing yourself. And we know that that's really important to you guys. But what we also know is that might be different than what your job actually needs. So focusing on that business allows us to stay laser-focused on bringing those things to life that will really impact your day-to-day job. So let's dive into this area. And so going to each of these, I kind of want to explain why we look at this data and then what it gets all of you. So firmographics is the basis, it's the foundation, right? We can't have a business profile if we don't know who the business is. And so firmographics are really to enable us to have accurate insights. If we classify your business in the wrong industry, we're going to give you inaccurate insights, and that's not going to be good for anyone. Industry-specific information, we know that when you guys are making decisions, sometimes the decision that you have to make for a medical facility is very different than a financial enterprise. Or you're a small business, right? You're just getting started. You need to be making different decisions and understand how your peers are making those decisions within your industry. And then goes to relative benchmarking, making sure that we benchmark you and compare you and connect you with the right people that are going to be having similar problems or priorities as you do. Next is technographics. So we can't help you manage your technology if we don't know what you're managing. So this is really getting into, hey, what does your current environment and infrastructure look like? And how does that, compare to others' environments, right? Are you running really old servers? Are you on the cutting edge of everything? Do you have 7 collaboration softwares, right? Knowing all those things, and that's how we bring up those insights in our help desk or our inventory system about, hey, you guys are experiencing more problems than normal. Maybe you should check that out. Or, hey, this warranty is about to run out. Maybe you should look into that. All of those experiences come to life because we're able to understand what you guys are currently managing and some service that back up to you in one single place. And so you get your tech insights that actually help you go through that buying process, right? Not only answering the question, does it solve my needs, but does it fit and is it compatible with my environment? Look at business insights. So what's specific to your business? Your business has a different footprint than other businesses. Though we can compare and make you similar, you need to know specifically what's going to be relevant for you. And then product benchmarking. Again, if we know what you currently have, we may be able to recommend solutions that will either be compatible or help you upgrade and take the next step into what your infrastructure needs. And then finally, tech disruptors, right? If we can show you, again, those ticketing systems that come up, we can show you, hey, this, through our connectivity dashboard, this one's running a little bit slower, or this system's completely out. That's how we bring all that stuff up to you guys, and you can have those experiences so you don't have to go fishing for them. Individual expertise. So this makes sure that we can not only personalize the experience for what your business needs, but personalize the experience for you. So we have learn modules to make sure that you guys are developing and taking the next step in what that is. We have different experiences to make sure that, as you're setting up your tech status program, which is brand new, that we can understand how that will really kind of better your experience and be personal for you. And then Umbar is going to get up and talk a little bit more about kind of verified professional, best answers, and some of those tech and personal insights. Again, as you'll see a reoccurring theme, all these insights need all these pieces of data because they base itself on different things and they'll bring new information to you. And then business behavior. So we talked a lot about intent and brand affinity. right? If you guys are a certain brand shop, we want to know that. We want to tell you, hey, you tend to gear towards this. These other partners work really well with this technology. Hey, these guys just released a solution that's going to fill a gap with what you guys are currently experiencing. So giving you guys that brand affinity so we understand kind of who you're gearing towards and what your workplace needs. And if you want to change that, what are some potential paths you can take to that? And then intent as well. So this is where we want to help our tech brands not bug you when you guys are not buying. And so this is where we look at all the business behavior. Again, not you individually, but what does your business need and is your business in market so you can get relevant ads, personalized topics, and be left alone when you want to be left alone. What does not go into our business profile? So I want to be very explicit about this. Names. I like to call myself as PII allergic. I don't like PII. So your names do not come in here. They're anonymized into a randomized ID so that we make sure you have your privacy and you keep that to yourself. Phone numbers. I don't like them. I throw them out. I don't need them. Right? That's why when you go into those connections experiences, you're entering that information when you want to connect with that vendor because that data goes in that personal experience, but we don't store it on our side. Email addresses. The only reason I love email addresses is because it's the most accurate way to link you guys to your business. Sometimes IP addresses are a little bit touch and go, so those email addresses, I like what's after that @ sign. But again, I don't want the first part of it, which is usually your name. And that's why you'll see experiences that come to life and you put those in there. Yes, we have it. Yes, we can ingest it. But what we don't do is we don't bring it into our data platforms. There's steps that go in from an application all the way to our data platform. And as we take those steps through our architecture, it's actually filtered out. So our business profile in summary, it's living, it's growing. It's always on. It's going to evolve. It's going to optimize. It's going to shoot out new insights based on things we learn. It's going to give you guys more personalized experiences based on what you guys need. And it's always going to be evolving based on how the environment is working because we know as the industry is changing, information and data behind that will change. Another thing I want to bring up, which goes into kind of what Jay posted earlier, we were into data protection long before it was a hashtag. And I did not make this meme up. It's out there and it's awesome. But we're serious about it. And someone actually asked me, hey, you guys have a lot of trust with your users, yet you do a lot of things for marketers and salespeople and helping them do your job. How do you maintain that and how do you kind of walk that balance? So it's very simple. We just tell everyone what we do. We tell them what we do and what we don't do. We're very open and transparent. There's nothing that we're doing that's why we're having this session today. Because we know in order to have everyone's in this room's life be better, we have to help those people who are trying to get to you also have a better experience. A couple of things I want to go through in this section. Hopefully most of you know about them. But we have a consent banner, right? And this is going to always be in compliance with the latest and greatest policies and legislations that are out there. GDPR, we're fully globally compliant with that. It does not matter where you are. We're globally compliant and give everyone the same benefits and kind of protections. And then the other thing too is, you won't experience this as much, but something I'd like to share with you is GDPR came up and we have the California Privacy Act that's coming. We are always going to align our infrastructure and our privacy infrastructure with the industry-leading solutions so that as laws change, as legislation comes up, we're actually aligning to ourselves those providers within the industry that are holding themselves to highest standards and have the highest certifications. So we work with industry-leading intent and consent platforms just because of that. Another interesting thing, our privacy policy, we have it. It's out there. You can see when it's updated. You can see what data we collect. There's an opt-out availability. I just want everyone to know it's out there. You can't, if you go on any website and you can't find their privacy policy, get off the website immediately. But this is on the kind of bottom of any page, and you log in, register, you can always find a link to it. We also have a page, and we're going to continue to grow this, but this is actually something that Francois and his team, Francois is kind of the leader of all of our tools and applications, manages, but he and his team and all his engineers also keep track of everything that we collect and ingest. And this can be collected and ingested to kind of power a single experience, like we talk about with the connections, or it can be collected and ingested into our profile and kind of that always-on, living and breathing thing that produces insights and intent. So this is some place you would always go. And there's kind of a link right up there. We'll leave it up there for a second if you guys want to write it down. But again, we're dedicated to transparency, and we're going to continue to do that. Another thing, and I'm going to make him stand up, this is Anwar Solis. So he is our data protection manager, and we have someone who is solely dedicated to making sure myself, all my fellow product managers, our engineering teams, our operation teams, he is the enforcer. He makes sure that everything is audited, it's recorded, we're doing everything right. He approves all the access. So we have someone who's fully dedicated to this responsibility wholeheartedly. And he does his job very well. Very, very well. Sometimes too well. But anyways, so this is something that, again, we're dedicated to it. So dedicated that we actually have a resource on the ground who sits with us every single day. And we're going to continue to do this, right? We're going to continue to be transparent. We're going to continue to help you and show you how to get your job done using data, trying to make IT simpler and smarter. But all that data is great, and I've talked a lot about how we use it and how it benefits you guys, but your data is only as good as kind of how you utilize it and put it into action. And so you guys have seen this a lot. This was up on the main keynote stage. All the insights and sessions that have been on that have been for what we're going to do and bring for that aspect, on kind of the left-hand side for you guys. The right-hand side, brands, intent, intelligence, making sure that they are focusing on the right businesses who want to connect with them, and sending information that's relevant to all of you when they are sending out a marketing message. But the other thing that we're doing is personalization. We're going to continue to personalize and make more experiences more relevant for all of you. And I don't just mean ads, I mean everything that you interact with and engage with. And so we're going to go beyond and maybe even deeper into that image. And to do that, this is where Anwar is going to get up and kind of walk you through some of those experiences we actually have today and some of the future things he's thinking about.
Cool. Thank you, Liz. So as Liz mentioned, we're constantly thinking about how to personalize your experience based on your business. As you know, IT pros come to Spiceworks from a variety of companies and different industries, different company sizes. There's a lot of different types of people, and there are people who are interested in security, databases, networking. We have a very diverse audience, if you will. And so it's very clear that we can't have an experience that's the same for everybody. So I'm going to walk you through a few examples of how we're connecting you to a business and what we're learning about your business and how we apply that to your experience and community. So Liz mentioned verified professional. How many of you have become a verified professional with Spiceworks? Got a few of you. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, it's a system we launched back in November. It allows us to verify that you are a professional and you work for a business, and we can capture your industry, your role, job title. And it's not just for a free lunch. We have a contest running right now. Our next drawing is October 1st, so for those of you who have not become verified, this is your chance. You got a few more days for our next drawing. And so how it works is you go to your community profile page and you click on the button to become verified. It's very simple. You click the button to verify your work email. You provide us your name, your email address. And then we get some additional information about your industry and your company size. And we've started a new feature that allows you to add your job experience, so we can get your work history as well, so other positions you've been at prior to your current company. So this is really the main way we're able to understand more about your business and your role. And so some of the things we can do with this information. So right now, if you go to a community topic page, we have a way to recommend what you should read next. So right now, everyone's pretty much getting the same recommendations. And then similar with product reviews, if you go to the product review section, you're pretty much getting what's been reviewed this week. But if you're a verified professional and we know a little bit more about you and your business, we can start personalizing what you see in community on topic pages. So in this example, if we know that you're in the healthcare industry and your role is related to security, we can start recommending very specific content that's relevant to you. So in this example, you can get an article about cybersecurity in healthcare, electronic visit verification, very specific to healthcare and security. which is a much better experience in getting stuff that may or may not be relevant to you. And then with product reviews, we can also do the same thing. We can start recommending products that are trending up in a particular industry or category. So similar concept with the start page and community. Right now, there's a little bit of personalization, but we can do a lot more if we know a little bit more about your business. So using the healthcare example again, with that information about you, we can start presenting events. So for example, live events in the middle. This is a very specific event related to security. And then we have very specific content related to healthcare, IT at the bottom. So again, getting you to relevant content faster. That's really what it's about with this part. And then for new users, we're starting to experiment with ways to capture why did they join Spiceworks. There's a lot of different reasons someone could join. You could be trying to solve a very specific technical problem. You could be just trying to connect with other people in your industry. You could be here to just learn about our tools and apps or improve your technical skills. And so we want to capture that intent earlier. So once you sign up for Spiceworks, you're going to start seeing these types of screens that capture your specific intent. And you could have multiple reasons why you join. And with this information, we can start modifying what content you see in the navigation. We can prioritize things better for you based on what you signed up, the reason you signed up for Spiceworks. So in this example, if somebody signed up and they said, hey, I'm really here to improve my tech skills, we can start highlighting the Learn section, Daily Challenge, things that are really targeted towards people that are trying to improve their technical skills. And so this is something we're testing for new users, but it could also apply to existing users. As they're within the Spiceworks community, we can start capturing some of that intent data. So this was something we talked about at the keynote with Liz, Manish, and Marta. This is an example of some personalization on the topic pages where you're getting technical insights. So you're on a page, topic page related to antivirus, and we have specific security products that we're recommending in the side over there. And you can see what's trending up, what's the sentiment within the Spiceworks community, and this will get you to the right content and products faster. And this is an example from Cloud Help Desk. I think Liz mentioned this earlier. By analyzing your help desk tickets, we're seeing a pattern that you're having a lot of networking issues. We can start recommending providers that could help solve that problem and giving you a very easy way to connect with them through a private messaging system right here. And so finally, another thing we're experimenting is capturing purchase intent data as you're browsing topics related to a specific category. So we've started testing this within the cloud category. So if you're on a topic page, you may have noticed if you scroll down the page, there's a little survey pop-up that comes up now. And so it's a really quick way for us to capture whether or not you're ready to buy or not. So we just ask a very simple question if you're in the market to buy. And if you are, we ask you, okay, within cloud, which category are you really interested in? And then after you answer those really 2 short questions, we give you 5 points and a badge. But now we've given you the option to start connecting. So if you click Connect Now, you're going to get a simple way for you to connect to a cloud service provider. And then we'll be able to help you with your specific problem right from the platform. So those are some of the main examples of personalization, how we're using some of the data about your business and your intent to make the experience better, to get you to value faster. And so some of the key takeaways from the talk today, it's all about your business. We were trying to learn, what business you're in, what industry, what specific problems your business is having. We're going to continue to be open about privacy. We're going to be transparent about what we're collecting and why we're collecting it and how you benefit from it. And as you saw from those examples, we're going to make that experience better for you, more relevant to your specific intent in your company. And with that, we'll open it up for questions. And if you guys have specific requests or things you'd like to see personalized in the community or the tools, we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Yeah. Any questions?
To
So the question was, just because you didn't have the mic, the question was, do we see a difference with how the data collection is running or anything due to the Ziff Davis acquisition? The answer is no, absolutely not. We'll do it the same. We'll have all the same protections. Onward will have all the same rules. Any other questions?
Are you using external sources to gather data besides what you have in like other social media sites? Or anything like that?
No, it's within our Spiceworks ecosystem. And we have our search data, just like anyone else, but it's all coming into our ecosystem. Would you like us to focus
More
on it?
data, the better.
Yeah? I like you. So do I. Anyone else? Any requests for personalization or things you guys like to see? I know it's early. All right. Well, if anyone else remembers questions or personalization requests, we're both on the community. Come find us. We're very easy to find. And just reach out whenever. We're always here. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.